Good afternoon. Isn't it a great day to be a Viking? Woo! I hope each of you feel, as I do, the energy and the excitement of all that is happening on our campus, and most importantly, the powerful impact it has on our faculty, on our staff, on our community, and especially our students. It is the reason we do what we do. You know, when I became president of Cleveland State a little over a year ago, I was humbled, honored, and highly motivated to lead our university. And after this year, working with all of you, building upon the great foundation that we have, and beginning to shape an even brighter future together, I can say with absolute certainty that I would not want to be anywhere else but right here, right now, in Cleveland, at CSU, with all of you. Thank you. But I have to start today with a confession and a tough realization and offer an apology, since despite my great positive karma when it comes to professional football, you may recall my sharing my experience with you that everywhere I've lived, the team has won the Super Bowl. Well, it's yet to affect the Browns. There's still time, and I am forever hopeful. So I'd like to begin today with a warm welcome to each of our staff, faculty members, and students in attendance. I'd also like to recognize the special guests we have joining us: Trustees Patty DePompey, Lisa Kunkel, Steve Kirk, Tim Cosgrove, our student trustees Erica Betterson and Allison Younger, who you just saw up on that video, and our faculty trustees Rachel Carnell and Bill Bowen. Thanks to each of you for your valuable support, for being here today as I report to you on the state of our university. I am very pleased and proud to tell you that in 2019, our 55th year, the state of the university is very, very strong. Before I provide you with a sense of where we are and where we're going as an institution, let me first reconfirm some things I discussed with you last year at about this very time. I mentioned to you that I believe firmly that I work for all of you, the faculty, staff, and students. We build on the momentum left to us by the folks who came before us, and I saw President Schwartz in the audience earlier. Thank you. Where is he? Stand up. Stand up. Because only by standing on their shoulders will we achieve our collective goals and objectives. I told you I would take the time to learn our campus, to speak with you collectively and individually, to build relationships and trust, to advance our culture of shared governance and engaged learning. This process continues, and I ask that you keep engaging me as you have, as I continue to learn more about CSU and who we are. I told you that no suggestion, idea, thought, concern is too small, that we care about what happens on this campus every day, in every office, and in every classroom. I mentioned that we would work together on a strategic set of priorities to drive us forward, and we're going to talk about those priorities today. And I committed that we would fully activate the power of CSU to transform Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. And I'm happy to say that we are already doing this in incredible, incredible ways. So in my time with you today, I'd like to do three things. I'm going to highlight some specific things we've achieved together over the past year. I'm going to share with you some indicators of what sets us apart, what makes us unique, the kind of impact we are having on Northeast Ohio and beyond every day. And then I'm going to preview our plans for the coming years and introduce some exciting things that are going to happen very soon, all to make the most of our unique competitive advantages, address our challenges head on, and shape the best possible future for Cleveland State. So as all of you know, we only go as far as our leadership team and shared governance model will take us. So let me thank Provost Zhu. Where's Provost Zhu? Where is he? Come on, Provost Zhu, thank you. All of our VPs, deans, and chairs for working so closely together with our faculty in the past year to help us move forward. I also want to give a special thanks to Dr. Bill Bowen, President of the Faculty Senate. Yes, we have two presidents at Cleveland State, myself and Bill, for his tireless advocacy on behalf of all the faculty and beyond, because Bill also advocates for all CSU stakeholders. I've worked many years with Faculty Senate leaders, almost 2 decades worth, and none have taught me more than he, nor contributed more, and nor anyone has contributed as much as Bill has to our mission. So Bill, thank you. In the past year, we have also added 173 new faculty and staff to our CSU family. So I would ask, if you are new to us this fall, will you please stand? Please, everybody who's new, stand up. So this is the mark of a vibrant, growing, striving institution. We're very happy all of you are here. We thank you. I'd also like to recognize one very special staff member who has dedicated the last 40 years of her professional life ensuring that the Faculty Senate runs smoothly and our Faculty Senate leadership team has whatever they need. I just spotted her out in the audience and she's starting to get embarrassed, I could tell. She's one of our true unsung heroes who goes about her business every day without fanfare, without ego. So please give a warm round of applause. Violet, can you please stand? To Violet Lunder, our Faculty Senate Administrative Coordinator. 40 years. Our faculty and staff are 1,500 strong, and it takes all of us working together to deliver the full student experience for a student body that in 2019 included a record number of applications for admission, over 14,000, a record number of freshmen, over 2,000, and a record 6-year graduation rate of over 46%. Now, let's take a look at some of the great things we've been able to accomplish just this year. First and foremost, and you see the stands behind me, we have established a shared set of strategic priorities for CSU. And these priorities are to advance our reputation as a leading public research institution, to continue to differentiate ourselves on student success, to build and enhance engaged learning, that's our brand, to strengthen our role as an anchor institution for Cleveland and Northeast Ohio, to become a beacon institution, to attract students and talent into CSU in Cleveland, to build financial strength, and to strengthen our campus community. There are 3 programs I want to highlight that exemplify how these themes come together, how they interrelate, how we have worked collectively to move the ball forward with demonstrable metrics in ways that show that we can do this better than anyone else. The first is our firm support of the Say Yes to Education program, an initiative that provides every qualified graduate of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District full tuition at the 4-year institution of their choice. We want their choice to be CSU. This fall, we welcomed close to 150 Say Yes scholars to our campus. This represents over 50 more students from CMSD schools than we had last year, and this is only the first year of the program. Why is this so important? Because CMSD has roughly 1,000 students per year who graduate and don't attend college at all. 1,000 a year. Yes, there's more work to do, but we are making real strides in getting students in the right pipeline that can show them opportunities for growth and development and ultimately jobs that can help break generational cycles of poverty. The second example, which is related to the first, is our Parker Hannifin Living and Learning Community at Cleveland State. Created with a $5 million gift by Parker Hannifin, this unique program provides CMSD graduates studying at CSU with 2 years of on-campus housing in a unique living and learning environment focused on leadership and success. My sincere thanks go out to Dr. Tashelle Banks for her commitment to lead this program. Where's Tashelle? Tashelle, stand. Thank you. Tashelle is an associate dean in our College of Education. Our first 30 students are now living in Fenn Tower, which for the first time is an all-freshman residence hall, and our plan is to increase the class to 50 for next year. I talked with one of these students last week, and Gary, I know you're out there somewhere. Where's Gary? I'd like to ask Gary and all of our Parker Hannifin scholars to stand. Please. Thank you for being here. The third program I'd like to highlight is our Success Coaching Program. We know that today's students, particularly first-generation students, who may not have the foundational financial and social support networks that other students have, face a multitude of challenges aside from those in the classroom. That's why we're investing in student success coaches who can help provide the connective tissue to navigate through life, not just school, and address some of the obstacles that often get in the way of academic success. And the benefits of this enhanced support are clear. Students in our first cohort, which is about 180 students, had a fall-to-fall retention rate that exceeded 80%, a rate that is actually greater than the retention rate for our entire freshman class. The prior year, the retention rate for this cohort was around 50%. So let me break this down into actual numbers for you. This means that 49 more students made it to sophomore year than would have made it without this program. So I want to introduce our Student Success Head Coach, Nick Petty, and his coaching team. Please, all of you, stand up. Let's give them a round of applause. Thanks for the important work you do, and please keep it up. Another strong indicator of our ascending regional and national profile is the number of students that are choosing us as a first-choice institution. And it's happening inside the inner ring suburbs, across the surrounding 5 counties, across state lines, and around the globe. Some examples. The Parma School District, which I visited last fall, has 80 freshmen, 80, attending CSU this fall. East Lake North High School, where I visited last week, has 28 freshmen. Mayfield Heights, we have 38 freshmen. Avon High School, where we doubled our enrollment to 24 students. Twinsburg High School, where we tripled our enrollment to 14 freshmen. And our new Cleveland State Global program, which only just launched this fall, already has 135 deposits from students overseas for 9 different master's programs in engineering and business for the spring semester of 2020. This is progress. And now let's consider our Mandel Honors College, where 16% of the entering 2019 class were valedictorians of their high school graduating class. This is double the number of valedictorians from just 2 years ago. It's incredible. I'd also be remiss if I didn't take a moment to recognize Mort Mandel, who passed away last week, the last surviving brother after which our college is named. What an incredible 98 years he lived. And at the memorial service for Mr. Mandel this past weekend, I was struck by the number of lives he touched in Northeast Ohio and around the world. To him, it was always about lighting candles, transforming lives through education, the same belief that drives each of us to do what we do every day. Our Honors College students are following in the Mandel tradition. They give back. They make up 25% of the tutors and success coaches in our tutoring center, 43% of our presidential student ambassadors, many of whom you see here today. Thank you for your service. You make us very, very proud. And how about our student athletes? Well, last spring, our student athletes had a cumulative 3.31 GPA, marking the 25th consecutive semester with a GPA over 3.0. Just amazing. So what does this tell us about who we are and how we're doing when it comes to student recruitment? It says that we're a first-choice institution for many students from a wide range of backgrounds and experiences who are choosing us because of access, because of affordability, because of academic excellence, because of our unique urban experience, because as an undergraduate, you can work alongside researchers being funded for cutting-edge science and discovery, because you can study with some of the best liberal arts, humanities, and social science professors in the world, because our students get connected to businesses in downtown Cleveland, and because our faculty and staff make the CSU experience one that stands the test of time. And how do we know this? Because our students are succeeding at increasing rates, and the special brand of engaged learning we offer is being noticed by others. And you know presidents like to talk about rankings, so I'm going to talk about rankings. According to a 2019 New York Times study, our graduation rate is 7 percentage points higher than what you would expect by our entering class when compared with other schools with similar populations. This is the highest actual graduation rate differential between expected and actual in the state of Ohio. A Brookings Institution report ranks CSU 18th in the nation among public universities that provide social mobility and conduct vital research that benefits society. We're the only Ohio school ranked in the best of the best category. Let's talk about the Wall Street Journal, who has a college ranking. They put CSU in its top 500 for the first time out of over 2,400 four-year colleges in the U.S. And what about U.S. News and World Report, which is often considered the bellwether of all rankings? Once again, we were selected as one of the top universities in the nation in its 2020 report on the best colleges and universities in the U.S. They also ranked us 134th in its new ranking for social mobility. We are truly, truly changing and transforming lives. And what happens when our students graduate? Well, 80% of our students remain in Northeast Ohio with talents and skills that increasingly align with the highest demand fields in our area. No other four-year institution in Northeast Ohio even comes close to having this many graduates that plant roots here once they graduate. And another Brookings study found that the mid-career salaries of Cleveland State graduates are more than $10,000 per year higher than those of comparable graduates from similar schools. These are powerful statistics. Our students stay here, they're better prepared, they make more money. Did I miss anything? So another, and to me even more gratifying indicator that the work we are doing is gaining traction is the way our alums and others in the community are stepping up to support CSU. A new $1 million gift from Char and Chuck Fowler is helping us grow our Lift Up Vikes program. It feeds hungry students and provides emergency loans when needed. We have far too many students who need this kind of support. Even one is too many. And thanks to this gift, we're able to greatly expand these services so that students can stay healthy and remain focused on their schoolwork. And recently, a $1.2 million donation by the NRP Group and the Millennia Companies has established the Center for Property Management within our Manio College of Business to create the leaders and workforce this growing field requires. We are grateful for these gifts, the innovative programs they support, the momentum they create for Cleveland State. And for those of you who are excited as we are about the great things happening here and have the resources to pay it forward, Julie and I will be happy to see you anytime, anywhere, any place. One of the other ways that philanthropy helps us is it lessens the burden on our traditional means of funding our operations. So to continue to advance our mission and do what we do best, we must be on strong financial footing, and we are. First, we have a strong balance sheet. CSU earned a rating of A1 with a stable outlook by Moody's and A+ with a stable outlook by Standard & Poor's. For those of you unfamiliar with credit ratings, this is a strong affirmation of our credit worthiness and our stability. And second, we are prudent with our resources. To make the kinds of resource investments in faculty and staff that we need to execute our mission, we really need to do three things. We need to advocate on the state level for further investment in higher education, particularly for universities that focus on affordability and access. We need to get our successful product to more students. It's part of our DNA, it's our mission, which also, by the way, as a financial person, generates additional resources. And then we need to make sure these resources are aligned with what we have on hand here to invest in our strategic priorities. So this year, I'm pleased to share with you that for the first time in several years, we will receive an increase in state funding for higher education, about 2% in both fiscal years 2020 and 2021. We vigorously advocated for this, and for this, I would like to thank Governor DeWine and the Ohio legislature for recognizing the vital importance of what we do and funding this increase. A special thanks go out to Chancellor of Higher Education Randy Gardner, IUC President Bruce Johnson for helping make this happen, so let's show them our appreciation for that. This additional funding also helps us keep our continuing commitment to the 4-year tuition freeze guarantee, which means that all CSU students who are guaranteed that first-year tuition will stay locked for all 4 years. But even with this increase, we all had to make some tough decisions during our budget planning process this year so that we are better positioned to grow our campus in the future. We made them together with the full engagement of our faculty staff and faculty senate leadership teams. A big help in this process was our trustees, who approved a 2-year budget for CSU, making us the first Ohio public university to go to a biennial budget. You might ask, why is this important? Because it takes time and runway to shift resources, to execute plans, to give us flexibility to make strategic investments in our students, programs, and infrastructure that align with the goals that I laid out earlier. This sounds like a simple change, but changes like this can often have a big impact. Another critical piece in our drive for excellence is built upon the excellent work that's already happening in our classrooms and our research labs. And as I've learned during my discussions across campus, our students have come to expect the kind of engaged learning and market-relevant experiences that will serve them well in the classroom and beyond. So let me share a couple of examples where we're setting an incredibly high standard. Our Center for Gene Regulation in Health and Disease is our largest externally funded research center and one of the most prominent genetic research labs in the nation. Our group of 12 scientists and more than 100 graduate students, research associates, and technicians are leading the fight to treat some of the world's deadliest diseases, develop anti-cancer drugs, and prevent birth defects. And over the past 10 years, our center has generated over $30 million in funding from NIH, from NSF, from the American Heart Association, and more. So I'd like to ask our researchers, led by Dr. Bibo Lee, who has secured more than $6 million from NIH during her time at CSU, including a $2.2 million grant, the single largest grant ever at CSU. So Bibo, please stand and join me in congratulating Dr. Lee. And she has a new lab too, right? Our new Doctor of Nursing practice program will help train the next generation of nursing leaders, administrators, and clinicians who will be increasingly on the front lines of healthcare delivery every day. This fall, our DNP program admitted its first cohort of 15 students. And to help address the opioid addiction treatment challenge that face our communities, a team of CSU professors and students developed an app that makes it easy to find and access the right drug treatment services with the click of a button. This effort has been led by Patty Stoddard-Dare. Patty, can you please stand so we can thank you? Great work. These three examples and many others I can point to are continuing to distinguish us in both education and research. It helps us do the things that we need to do to prepare our students for career success. So now, let's talk about the future. The absolute best news I can share with you today is that we have no intention of slowing down. First, we will continue to engage you across campus as we build upon the 7 strategic priorities that will drive us. Provost Zhu and the deans will be working together with you this fall and spring to develop a set of strategic priorities implementation plan. In other words, an action plan that's tied to each of these themes. So I'm pleased to announce for the first time some of the strategic investments that we'll be making in support of our strategic priorities. First, an additional investment in our student success coaching model that I described earlier. It works. We owe it to our students. Second, we're going to double the investment in our 6-week summer math and English intensive prep program for freshman students entering in the fall of 2020. It works, and our students deserve that. We are going to actively, aggressively recruit a minimum of 40 new faculty by next fall to grow critical path academic and research programs in health sciences, in business, in engineering, in data analytics, and more. 4, we're going to rebalance our institutional financial aid offers to include a $1 million increase in need-based financial aid so that we can do everything in our power to eliminate barriers for students who want to be with us and are unable to be with us solely on the basis of financial need. 5, we're going to expand our co-op and externship programs. Beginning next fall, we will be introducing what we're calling the CSU Engaged Learning Promise, which guarantees that any freshman who joins us starting next fall and wants a co-op or an externship experience will get one. Thank you. 6, we are going to update our campus master plan, where we will define our campus footprint for the next 10 years, build brand awareness, build capacity, and further establish our campus identity. And 7, to make good on our commitment to you that your ideas must help drive us forward, we are going to be announcing the Forward Together Innovation Challenge, a Shark Tank-styled competition to encourage you, our faculty and staff and students, to collaborate and present your creative ideas and innovative ideas, solutions for investment. We plan to initially seed this investment fund with $500,000 because we can't get there without your ideas. The best ideas come from the ground up. We'll share the details on this soon, on how this will work, so start thinking about ways that we can expand our brand, reach more students, help them get through, improve our service model, make our day-to-day lives at CSU better. So I'm going to close today with one of my favorite quotes, and it's from someone who is less known for being quoted than for being one of, if not the, most prolific inventor with over 1,000 U.S. patents. Anybody know who this is? Grew up down the road here. Somebody said it. Thomas Edison. And Thomas Edison said, "Vision without execution is hallucination." So for me, the execution has always been the fun part. So with your help, I'm confident we'll move forward together in a way that will continue to set CSU above its peers, provide the fuel for Cleveland's continuing growth and expansion. I appreciate you and look forward to seeing all of you at the reception. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.